hand that feeds us. Al-Rahman Al-Najjab, deceased at the age of 95. With my diploma in agronomy, I opted to work in education, keen to transmit my knowledge and help develop Palestinian agriculture. Like all the young people of my generation, I was aware of the land acquisition plan organized by the Zionist movement and the Jewish National Fund. We had witnessed numerous actions aimed at taking over and controlling lands before 1948, but we did not realize how organized they actually were. It was only much later, after reading a book by the Israeli historian Ilan Pappé, that I understood how central agriculture had been to the Zionist strategy and how this led to the first violent actions. By being dispossessed of his land, the Palestinian farmer was deprived of his status and an essential part of his identity. Ilan Pappé also testified that nothing had been left to chance, that everything had been planned. He explained how the JNF, starting in the 1930s and then more systematically in the 1940s, had produced maps and reports on every Palestinian village. These documents contained as much detail about the topography as about the access routes, the resources, the religion, the relation with the nearby villages, the age of the men, and that data about local notables. All this crucial information would be used by the Zionist paramilitary groups in 1948 when they organized raids and targeted certain villages, including Deir Yassin, Tantura, and Dawaimi. The pictures of the massacres committed in these villages and elsewhere were intentionally made public to provoke panic and incite people to flee. After the Arab residents were forced out, many of their demolished villages were replaced by Jewish settlements. I myself witnessed what had happened in Al-Qibliya near Lida. I went the day after the murderous raid led by Ariel Sharon and his Unit 101 of the Israeli army, which occurred on October 14, 1953 at about 9:30 p.m. For Sharon, it was a punitive expedition to avenge the murder of a woman and her 2 children when a grenade had exploded in the Israeli village of Yehud. In the Palestinian village of Al-Qibliya, 69 people were massacred, 3/4 of whom were women and children. What I saw there, I will never forget. Bodies were everywhere on the streets. In deathly silence, families were roaming through the ruins, looking for their relatives under the rubble. Strangely, everybody was avoiding a half-destroyed house. I learned that it was the house of the school teacher who was not from the village. The Jordanian army came to remove the bodies of the family, which included 3 children.